didn't see the latest greatest hits of missed layups, the missed layups clinic that Angel Reese put on from last night's game. It's like a greatest hits collection of missed layups. I can't even believe it.
Angel Reese just suffered the biggest loss of her basketball career, and honestly, it was bound to happen. She stepped onto the court against Napheesa Collier's Lynx, thinking she could get away with her usual antics. But this time, she got exposed in real time. Let's be real, she's been doing the most lately, whether it's talking big online or acting like she runs the WNBA. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is the one actually carrying the league and proving it on the court.
And this is the same player that just came out and said, if they don't pay them the bag in the WNBA...
Now, after getting outplayed, Angel Reese is left scrambling. And this whole situation proves one major fact. If Caitlin Clark wasn't around, the WNBA would still be stuck in the shadows, waiting for anyone to care.
There's 2 different videos now floating around out there, and it's unbelievable. Now, Angel Reese last night, once again, had one of the worst shooting games in the history of planet Earth. For what's supposed to be a big... I mean, what in the hell is going on here? I understand her team won. I get it. 5 of 13 from the field. 13 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds, only 10 points. All right, her team won. That's great. But it was Chelsea Gray that carried their asses last night. Let's
picture this. It's a game in the unrivaled 3x3 basketball league. Angel Reese, full of confidence, steps onto the court with her squad, Rose BC. Across from her, Napheesa Collier, a certified hooper who lets her game do the talking. The ball tips off, and within minutes, it's clear Reese is struggling. She's out here throwing elbows, flailing her arms, and playing defense that looks more like she's auditioning for a WWE contract. At one point, she literally collides into Collier like she thought she was an NFL linebacker. But instead of intimidating Collier, it just made her look desperate, like a kid at the playground who can't dribble, so they just start fouling everyone. While Reese was busy trying to be aggressive, Collier was all business, splashing shots, making plays, and proving exactly why she's respected in the game. By the final whistle, Reese's team took the L, and social media wasted no time roasting her. This is where things get really funny. After the game, instead of owning up to her bad performance, Reese did what she always does, doubled down. If you know Reese, you know she loves playing the main character. She gets cooked on the court. She hits Twitter with cryptic tweets like she's going through a breakup. She gets benched. She posts a selfie with the caption, "They hate me 'cause they ain't me." But here's the problem. At some point, you actually have to back it up on the court. And right now, Reese is looking more like a TikTok influencer who accidentally stumbled into a basketball career than an elite athlete. She's got the endorsements, the flashy outfits, and the Instagram clout. But what she doesn't have is a game that makes her undeniable.
She shouldn't be practicing no jumpers from nowhere. I mean, she ought to be just layup after layup after layup. Because let's be real, a lot of the heat she takes is because of this. And it's because it's not to be believed. I just can't even believe it. Let's roll this right here. Look at this. 1, 2. I mean, are you kidding? 3. What is happening? Again. I just can't even. I just can't even.
It's like watching someone flex an expensive car, only to realize they don't even have a driver's license. Like, girl, we get it, you're famous. But what are you famous for? Let's be real. Angel Reese looks more invested in social media than actually improving her game. She's out here making TikToks, attending red carpet events, and securing brand deals while her basketball skills remain mid-remember when she made headlines for renting an $8,000 a month luxury apartment. More than her entire WNBA rookie salary? That's like blowing your whole paycheck on designer shoes and then realizing you can't afford bus fare. But of course, she wasn't worried. Endorsement deals got her covered. The sad part? She could be great if she just focused on her craft. Instead, she's doing everything except dominating the league. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out here putting in work, breaking records, and proving that talent speaks louder than Instagram likes. Now, let's compare that to Caitlin Clark, the real reason people are tuning into women's basketball. Clark isn't out here making thirst traps or flexing brand deals. She's in the gym, pulling up from the logo and turning entire stadiums into must-watch TV. She's doing for the WNBA what Steph Curry did for the NBA, changing the game, making people care. And you know what she doesn't do? Run to social media every 5 seconds for validation. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is playing the villain role, but not even in a cool way. She's like the antagonist in a movie who talks big, but never actually wins the final fight. She wants to be the face of the league, but faces don't get benched. They don't get exposed in primetime games. And they definitely don't turn more heads for social media antics than their actual game.
We watching women's basketball. It's not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that. Like, it's not just because of one person. A lot of us have done so much for this game, and Kennedy has been here before, obviously, but there are so many great players in this league that have deserved this for a really, really long time, and luckily...
At this point, it's clear. Angel Reese needs to decide what she wants to be. If she wants to be a social media star, fine. Go be a TikTok sensation, start an OnlyFans, do whatever makes her happy. But if she actually wants to be one of the greats, she needs to humble herself and put in the work. Because right now, she's all talk. And in the world of sports, talking without backing it up only gets you so far. And here's the biggest kicker. If Caitlin Clark had never come along, nobody would even be talking about the WNBA like this. That's the truth Angel Reese and her fans don't want to admit. So maybe, instead of running to Twitter every time she gets called out, she should take this L, get back in the gym, and start acting like she actually wants to win. Until then, she's just another player who got cooked and couldn't handle the heat. Angel Reese. You really thought you could waltz into the WNBA off social media hype, miss layups that high schoolers make in their sleep, and still demand to be called the next big thing? That's hilarious. Instead of putting in the work, you'd rather spend hours curating your TikTok brand, posting thirst traps, and chasing clout. And now, it's painfully obvious to everyone watching.
Unbelievable that this is professional basketball of any kind. Let's look at this. Let me turn this down. I don't want a copyright strike, so let's start this over. What?
You had all the backing in the world. The WNBA was desperate to make you a star, desperate to push this so-called rivalry between you and Caitlin Clark. But let's be real, what rivalry? Caitlin Clark is out here breaking records, drilling logo threes, delivering pinpoint passes, and elevating the game to new heights. Meanwhile, you're struggling to hit open shots and collecting rebounds like a glorified stat patter. And let's talk about those missed layups. How do you, a professional basketball player, botch shots that middle schoolers could make blindfolded? How does someone with so much backing and hype airball from 2 feet away? But instead of locking yourself in the gym and putting in the work to actually become great, you're more worried about social media engagement. You're focused on the next TikTok trend, building a brand instead of becoming a baller. And then you expect to stand next to Caitlin Clark and demand the same level of respect. You want to be seen as the face of the WNBA, but you can't even be counted on to finish at the rim. Caitlin is out here putting in the work, taking the hate, dominating under pressure, and proving why she's generational. Meanwhile, you're out here throwing up bricks and celebrating like you won a championship after barely making a layup.
There we go. Oh shit. No. Up. Are you joking? I can't believe that's real, folks. I can't believe this shit's real from a professional player. I mean, that's wild. What are we doing? Say what you want about Angel Reese. You can't tell me she isn't the star of every show every time she's on the court. I can't even hate on this. She's Larry, Moe, and Curly all at once. The Three Stooges.